Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. All right, well, today is Friday. Glad to have you here this morning. If you're here for the first time, welcome. My name is Tyler. I'm going to be helping navigate us through the wild world of day trading futures. And the market's slingshotting back and forth right now, so we're going to take a look at that. I am currently in a trade. We'll take a look at that. Can anybody guess what we took? Guess what I took? Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess? It's going to be a good one today. Let's go ahead, open in prayer, and then we will get started. Father, we just commit today to you. Thank you, Father, for a wonderful day. Thank you for a wonderful week. Thank you for your provision. Thank you that it is you who gives us the ability to produce wealth. So, Father, we honor you and glorify your name in everything we say and do. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, well, the market is ripping back up after a rip lower, and I am currently in a long from right. Did it put it up there? From right here. Well, we went long. Where did we go about there? First target's there, and second target's going to be the highs. I already did sell some at this high, so I have 2 contracts left. Took 5 contracts and holding the last 2. One more to here, and then another one to up here. See if we can get all the way back up there. That is the plan. That is the plan. Before I show that, let's drop the disclosure here real quick. And with that, that is my current setup right now. Looking to see if we can run to that high right there. That would be the ideal target for my first for one of my contracts, and then just hold a runner to see if it just wants to keep going. We do have a daily high that's sitting up there. How high is that? Is that way up there? No, we can't be way up there. Yeah, I thought so. Then we have a minor buy side as well. It's probably more of a major. Can we reach it? I don't know. This week has been it has not been the easiest week of trading. So we will see what the market's going to do here. If I get an inversion, I'm probably going to sell one of my contracts to the downside. Good morning, Jason, Georgette, Jeff, John, Soul Revival, good morning. Randy, good morning. Let's move this up here. It's not cut off my head. There we go. Yeah, look at the aggression when we start moving back higher. I like that aggression. So we'll see how far this wants to go. If it gives me a reason to hold through the open, I will. These are London highs right here. 7 a.m., 5:12 London high. And I'm not even reaching for London high. I'm just going for these equal highs right there. That's what I would like to see hit. If right at the open we get a nice pump, I might even move this higher. We'll see. It's kind of it's kind of one of those things. You just gotta see how it feels when the time comes. 2 a.m. Let's go to we don't have an opening range gap. It's very small. 13. Currently, we have a discount opening range gap. So as long as this opening range gap, that's a big one, is that it is above, to fill this opening range gap, it's above my entry level, which is right about, actually, is that there? Yeah, it's right there, 615. So it's a little bit higher than this. It is above my entry level. So if we fill it, that's the extent of where it could drop. Maybe it drops lower. But if we can make a new high, that's going to be, if we can make a new high right here, that's going to be a big deal. Midnight open, let's find where that's at here. Yeah, I mean, that wick is coming from this drop right here. The hourly doesn't. The hourly did sweep liquidity and hit the midpoint. So if you notice, this is the third day in a row where we've hit the midpoint of the previous day range and moved higher from there. Third day in a row. Pre-market. It was pre-market. It hit the midpoint, and with no other reason, it starts turning aggressively, and then it shows two models. It shows my inversion right there, and it shows an extremely clean breaker. And the breaker landed right at the midpoint and then immediately went off. So I was already in it, and that's what I was watching. If we inverse this or inverse the inversion, or failed on the inversion, I would have gotten out of the trade. But I mean, I can't pass something that clean up. It's clean. It was clean. It was just, it was clean. I might end up taking a contract off here depending on how this candle closes, because I know 930 is coming up and there's a bit of uncertainty when it comes to 930. So I really want to see this close above these levels. I needed to make a new order block. That's the main priority before 930 is what I want to see that make. But I don't want it to drop lower and start giving me a change in state of delivery here. That's what I wanted to see right there. There we go. It's these kind of candles that you can't see in back testing that just tell you so much. The aggression. They don't go very far sometimes, but the aggression just tells you what's happening. Now, the next thing right after this candle is I do not want to see it eaten up completely. If the next candle closes the entire body of the candle we just created, then that kind of negates the whole idea of what I was thinking, right? We want to see a fair value gap left in its wake. That's what we want. When you see that aggression, that instant like, wow, you want to see a fair value gap left behind. If it closes all the way back down here, then that kind of negates the idea we had. So it's kind of one candle at a time. You get your idea, and then when it comes to management of the trade, it's one idea or one candle at a time. So the things I don't want to see is it closing all the way back down here. I also don't want an inversion on this candle right here. The last thing, I do not want to see an inversion. This aggressively move this direction. It's okay to come down into this level, but ultimately we want to see more wicks on the bottom of each candle than the top. I'm not gonna lie, I sat down at my computer and about 30 seconds later I entered my trade. That's how quickly I entered this trade. I can't describe it. I marked my daily high and low and I saw where it was at, and I saw the aggression of these three candles right here, and I was like, I'm taking that. So I have one contract looking to hit right here. That's one TP right there. So I think I am gonna leave that there with 1 minute left. I think we could hit this, and then we'll have the other one sitting higher, see if it wants to go. I just don't think right off the open it's just gonna go like that. I mean, it could. Let's look at the 15-minute. If anything, it looks like we're going to get a BPR right here. All right, there's the opening price, and there's our TP, and now we have one contract left. see if it wants to keep moving higher here. Right off the open. TP is sitting right there at 735, 737. Wow, maybe I should move it higher, huh? Well, can't do that. That just got hit. Wow. That was pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty nice. I kind of feel bad that I wasn't able to move that faster. My next thing that I would have done is moved it to London High. And look at that. We're going for the daily fair value gap. That's what's happening right now. That would be my draw. I'm not saying that's what we could hit it. I mean, the first thing I'd say is we're going to hit that level. So that trade there recovered my losses from the past 2 days. That one trade recovered my losses from the past 2 days. And I really want to talk about this because it's so important. If I would have allowed my losing days to put me on tilt and take bigger losses, I wouldn't have recovered my losses in one trade. If I allowed tilt to set in, if I could not have accepted my losses from the past 2 days, if I didn't follow my max loss rule, if I didn't follow my risk management rules, I would not have been able to recover all my losses in a single trade. I recovered all my losses in this trade. I made just about $500, and my max daily loss is $250. So $250, $250, $500. I didn't exactly lose $250 each day. I'm just using that as an illustration. That's how I did my easy math. I don't know what the exact numbers are. I just know this one trade beat my max loss for the past 2 days, so I know that I recovered all my losses. It's just so having and being able to manage your emotions on losing days, on frustrating days, on days where price action just flat out stinks, allows you to sit in front of the charts on days like this, maybe not right away, but in time, be able to recognize that, wow, this looks really good. I'm going to take a trade. And then have the fortitude to let it play out. Now, I did take 3 contracts off at about 15 handles, and I let 2 of them run. Maybe I could have done better and let all 5 of them run. That would have been a little bit harder for me to do because I already knew I had losses from the past 2 days. But for those, yeah, I do have a strategy video. They're on my channel, or if you want it to break it down simply, you can join the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. But I want this. I don't think people understand this, and I'm using this real example why it's okay to take a loss. Emotionally, it hurts. It hurts the pride. It hurts every time I take a loss in front of you guys. I don't want to take losses. I want to turn it into a win. But I have my rules and I follow my rules. And if you follow the plan, even if it goes wrong, you still have part of your plan you are in complete control of. I'm looking over at my rules, which is sitting on the wall right here. It's my sticker chart. You'd be surprised. My sticker chart is extremely helpful. But I can control how many trades I take. I can control how big my losses are. I can control how many contracts I take in a single trade. I can control not averaging down on my trades. Those are the things I can control. So I control them on days that I have losses. And then when I have a winning day, guess what? I recover all of those losses. I would love for it to see the previous day high hit. The problem right now is how big of a retracement are we going to get? I mean, your first bet would be to take an entry here, stop loss at the previous day high, anticipate that this is a breakaway gap, and see if it wants to go there. I mean, I'm going to open my personal account, which has a few $100s in it, and I'll take one trade there because I'm not going to take another trade on my funded accounts. There's no reason to. Way to go, Kay. Closing the week in profits. All right, we're going to be doing some giveaways. We have 5 Apex accounts I'm going to be giving away today. So stick around for that. Do I think price will hit the 2 bottom fair value gaps on the 15-minute chart? Yes, I just don't know when. Based on the strength, no. Based on this strength, absolutely not. We're probably, if anything, it will come back down to previous day high and continue higher there. At least I don't think it's going to come down to this one. It could come down to that one, but maybe I would rather anticipate this. That inversion. So the 15-minute inversion right there, that's what I think it could reach down towards. I just don't know if it's going to do it before. I mean, based on this aggression, I think it could hit buy side there and potentially the daily. Yeah, look at the days. I mean, these days were difficult. Here, here, and here. That's what we traded. These 2 days here is what I took losses in. And just look at the overall day and what it looked like. It was in consolidation. Definitely harder days to trade. I'm wearing shirt number 2. This one is not my style as much, but everybody knows what a fair value gap is, and so this shirt is greater than every fair value gap, and it's a cross, and the actual cross is the fair value gap. You guys notice that? You see that? Yeah. See, there's the high and the low of the fair value gap right there. My brain and looking at my camera is not working. There it is. Right there. That's the fair value gap, and it's across. Yep. So there's that shirt. And just as quickly as we go up, we come down. But what we're looking at is how is this 15 minute going to close in the next 4 minutes? It already came down and retested that 15 minute. Did you see that? Do you see that retest? And then it literally put a wick inside of it. Let's see if it holds. Let's see if that 15 minute holds. Let me log out of this. And I'm going to open my personal account. That was copy traded, by the way. The TP line is a breaker also. Bias is long. I haven't looked at see what the TGIF is. Weekly. I mean, last week didn't give you one. This week, I'm still not interested in it, to be honest with you. We do have a daily down here. We never tagged. Why don't I see that? Okay, the reason why I say that is look at this daily. We inversed the daily. We found support at the daily for 2 days in a row. I'm anticipating, I'm a let's hit this daily fair value gap kind of guy today. That's what I want to see happen. That's what I'm thinking on my end. What was that last one? Interesting. Look at the opening range gap that we had right here. from November 13th. And look what that covers, and look what the candle did perfectly. This is the opening range gap from November 13th. And look what it conveniently fills almost perfectly. It wicks just above it, but fills it and then comes back down. New candle. All right, so look at the 15-minute. I don't care about this anymore. I'm just noting it. Look at these two down close candles here. 3 down close candles, and this candle right here still closed above it. So that's a change in state of delivery. I'm interested in longs. When is that going to happen? I don't know exactly. Could be right now. I'm just waiting for something that's clear and obvious. Good morning, all set. My gut's telling me that this is a fake move higher right now. It's after a big move already, and it's like, oh, everybody's going to want to get long on this. I'm not going to participate in it. It could go. It could go. But I'm just, that's kind of my gut right now. Yeah, I mean, look at the inversion fair value gap that I marked out that I planned on it coming down to hit. Look at the bodies respecting the midpoint of it. Do you see that? The bodies are in the upper half. Now, it's still, here's the other thing. Because that was on the 1 minute, this candle could close and we could still come back down here, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't care about that top wick. Here's how I see that top wick. Here's what I think's going to happen. I think we're going to get candles like this. And then it goes. So I could show you on the, here, let's just use it for this wick right here. Okay? Look at that wick. What did the rest of these candles do? 1, 2, 3. Slowly moves down inside of this wick. And then once we get towards the bottom, we aggressively move. This happens all the time. It will do these big wicks, but we see that we already have a change in state of delivery, so we're not going to be faked out and thinking we're going lower. We're thinking slow price action, a little bit higher, and at some point it goes boom. That's how I anticipate that. Now, it could also do something like this, a little bit higher, wick it, and then run lower. That's an option too. But when we have a change in state of delivery that says we're going higher, this wick right here just, for me, says they wanted to get the liquidity sitting up here ASAP. They didn't want people to remove it, so they moved it aggressively to get all that liquidity. The daily has a volume imbalance. Not on the bottom. No, it doesn't. No volume imbalance. Yeah, no, that volume imbalance I don't care about because it went up into it. If it left a gap, like right here, then I would care about it. We're going to wait till 10 o'clock most likely to see what we have show up here. See how this candle closes on the 4-hour and the hourly. Let's hit 60 likes, guys. 60 likes, we'll do our daily affirmation. And then following the affirmation, we will do our giveaway. The daily SIBI on November 13th. Okay. It still closed above it and found support. I mean, that's so minute. Sure, you can include that. But it doesn't change anything. We closed here, found support here, wicked down into it again and went higher. But I think the way this looks, it looks better. Okay, so when you have something like this, the best thing to do is go, all right, here's this level and here's this level. Which one looks more algorithmic? Okay, this body closed just below, stayed below, aggressively closed higher, dropped down into it. Look at this candle right here. This is the giveaway in my opinion, is look at the low on that. The low, I mean, it is the daily fair value gap high. Okay, that is algorithmic. Let's compare it to the volume imbalance. Closed below, closed above. This candle did stay above, yeah, but it also hit the fair value gap opening price just perfectly. So you could have done either. I like that one. All right, looks like we did make another high. Price is ripping and roaring. Let's look at the 15-minute here. It decided not to go slow here, did it? It said, no, we're not going slow, Tyler. We got instructions and we're going to hit it. If we get a decent fair value gap tag, I might just take that to see if we can get a push higher. Hey, WRMA, welcome. Sean, to participate in the giveaway, once we hit 60 likes, we'll do our daily affirmation. And then when we do the giveaway, the only thing you have to do is make a comment within 10 minutes of the giveaway. That's pretty much it. Say hi. Give an encouraging word. Share an affirmation. something like that. We got 5 minutes left. I'm going to take an entry there. We're going to hang on to that. Am I not on the screen? No, I'm not. This is a single contract. Excuse me. The idea is retracement into a fair value gap. We have 5 minutes left for the top of the hour. We have a new order block right here, and this is the fair value gap just above it. So we could set the target to be 830, be right around there. And stop loss would have to be some, I mean, theoretically it needs to be there, but that's just too big. That's too big. That's a 47 handle stop loss. I don't like that. We're gonna take away 15 handles. We'll go 30 handle stop loss for a single micro. That means I'm risking $60 to make about $60. But I'm only doing this on a single contract because I feel comfortable doing that. I would not be doing this on my funded account with multiple contracts. I'm willing to take a one contract risk, is what I'm trying to tell you. So technically this is also a breaker right here, and we got in based on this wick right there. I'm sorry, right here. This was the wick I got in on. About that. So that is the breaker. Let's see if the breaker holds. Low, high, lower, low. And let's see if it wants to run right there. Here's the only concern I have. Actually, I really don't have it. It's too far away at the moment. Is wanting it to come back down and tag this 15-minute fair value gap. Once we make a new high, my stop will be moved to break even. Once we make a new high right there, that's when I'll move my stop to break even. Because you don't know if it's just going to sweep it and run lower, or if it's going to sweep it and then run it. I really don't want it to come back down to this low, so I'm going to move my stop up to there. If it stops me out because of that, that's fine. I just want to reduce my risk. I think it's appropriate. All right, 10 o'clock's right here. We have news. Let's see if it gives us another pump higher. Uh, 881. I'm just going to move this in case it really goes. I'll bring it back down if it doesn't, if 10 o'clock doesn't give us the kind of move I'm thinking. There's a sweep Now, technically, my stop needs to be at break even, but due to the volatility, I'm going to leave it where it's at and accept the loss. You should technically stop yourself out right now. I'm going to close it. The sweep of that candle right there and it staying red was my indicator that we're probably going to get a decent retracement. And let's see if I made the right decision. Did I save myself on a larger stop, or did I cut myself early and then it goes right back up? I'm going to guess no, because when you get a 10 or 11 o'clock peak or a sweep, this tends to hold for a short period of time. So let's see how long this holds. I think we're probably going to come back down here. Price kind of moving slow today. Hunter, I don't know what you're talking about. Prices move slow the past week. This is great price action. I don't know if I would have been stopped out. I wouldn't have been stopped out. Nope, I wouldn't have been stopped out. Way to go, Tyler. Way to go. I manually closed instead of letting the stop loss just hit, hoping to save a few dollars. I would have been up a few dollars if I didn't do that. This is why you don't meddle with it. This is why you don't meddle with it. Look at that, Tyler. Lesson learned, lesson learned, lesson learned. Technically, it did sweep down here on NQ. It did sweep, so I would have been stopped out if I took it on NQ, but MNQ didn't sweep the low. Yep. BC, this BSL level, the buy side liquidity level, should be tagged right here. All right, do we have our levels here? Let's see, or not levels. Do we have our likes? Yes, we do. All right, let's go ahead and do our daily affirmation here in a second. Let's see if we hit this level though. Same bro. Where was our first presented fair value? Where's 930? $930 was here. Or 931. There's our first presented fair value gap. 4 hour, yeah, so that's a sweep of a 4 hour high, but the 4 hour candle is also a big bullish candle. I would not try to play against that. I would be playing the daily, most likely. I think this is gonna hit, guys. I think 882 is gonna be the target. Let's do our affirmation here. I'm opening my account. All right. Today's affirmation is based on Matthew chapter 5, verse 5. It's the Sermon on the Mount. He says that the meek will inherit the earth, and that's what this affirmation is based on today. So I hope that this encourages you guys. Today I walk in meekness, not weakness, but strength under God's authority. That is what meekness is. Understanding your strength in Christ. That's what meekness is. I choose patience, humility, and steadiness. As I align my heart with His, I step into the inheritance He has prepared for me. Today I walk in meekness, not weakness. Your identity in Christ is everything. So know who you are. Know who you are. Know your position in Christ. So when you have losing days, when you have days that don't match up to what you're expecting, you know who you are and you're not letting the failures or the disappointments affect your identity. Choose patience, humility, and steadiness. As I align my heart with His, I step into the inheritance He has prepared for me. All right, so we hit this buy-side liquidity. Just noting that. Right there. Let's see if it's gonna hold or not. And continue its push. Okay, today is going to be a affirmation. We're going to be doing a giveaway. So I'm going to be getting that set up. If you want to participate, here's what I want. I want an encouraging word about yourself. Or I want you to tell me something positive about yourself. That's what I want to hear. Something positive about yourself. Put that in the chat. Hang on. I gotta open the bot. Before you do it. Because if you do it beforehand, it won't register. All right, there we go. Hang on. Active chatter. Check. Okay. I want you to share in the chat a strength you have. A strength you have. Something that the Lord would call a gift He's given you. A strength you have. Put it in the chat. I am confident. For me, I would say I am extremely loyal. I am a extremely loyal person. Sometimes too much. But I am loyal. If I'm there for you, I'm there for you. If you're my friend, you're my friend. If you were my employer, I'm your man. I always had a hard time quitting jobs because I'm like, man, I thought I was supposed to be here for life. That's when I figured out I needed to work for myself. All right. Keep adding them in there. Keep putting them in. We're getting the entries. All right. Let's keep going. While we're reaching for the daily fair value gap. It's going to get hit. I mean, at this point, there's no question. There's no question in my mind. We could get a retracement, but that is going to happen today. All right, keep going. We got resilient, brave, principled, persistent, optimistic, tenacious. I'm forgiving. I care for others. A strong leader. I love these. I'll give about another minute or two for anybody else in the chat that wants to participate in the giveaway. We're giving away 5 Apex accounts. I saw the name Don Lemon, and I'm thinking of the commentator. But I'm assuming that's not you. All right, let's see how many people we got here. All right. One more minute and then we'll do it. Swift. Wift. We are doing a giveaway, and to participate in the giveaway, you got to make a comment about a strength that you believe the Lord's given you, or a strength you have. Mine was I'm an extremely loyal person. Okay. Just about there. And we will do for those here joining, we're doing a giveaway. Make a comment on a strength you have. and we're going to get started. We're going to do the giveaway. You like how I got stopped out on that? Or I closed early? And then we see that? This is why you'd let trades play out. Oh my gosh. Do not close your trades early. Set your stop loss. Take your hands off. And let the trade play out. All right, let's do it. We're going to do the giveaway. You will see your name pop up by the chat bot. Here is winner number 1. Stefan is our first winner. Okay? So what I need you to do at the end of this, you have to give me or send me an email. I need you to send me an email so I can give you the coupon or the codes to get the free account. All right? So that is our first winner. Stefan, congrats. Let me know what country you're in. Let me know what country you're in so that we know it's in a country that can actually take these. Let's see. Well, I got in what? We got in here. This would have been up 78 points. All right, let's go to the next one. Has Stefan said something yet? There he is. All right. South Africa. I need to double check. I have to check. I can't remember if South Africa was one. Didn't you try to get one before? And I can't remember. I can't remember about South Africa. Is South Africa an allowable country to receive or to trade on Apex funded trader? I'm asking ChatGPT. Here it goes. While we've been doing this, I did re-enter a single contract. I did not do that with you guys because we were doing our affirmation. I did get in a trade. I did re-enter that trade I got myself out on with one contract. So I am just letting that play out. Is currently listed as a restricted country. Dang it, Stefan, I can't give it to you. I'm sorry, my friend. It is a non-accepted country. Sorry. All right, we still got 5 to give away. All right, winner number 2, Hot Rod. Let me know you're here. Lawrence, let me know you're here. And Motor Racing New. Let me know you're here. Okay, those are the 3 winners. We got 2 more to give away, but we're just doing them in a chunk. Ohio. Motor Racing, what country are you in? Lawrence. My 3rd win. Canada. Well, I don't know. Maybe, Lawrence, they just like your name. All right? So Lawrence is in South Africa. When I redo this, it puts everybody back in there. So right now we have Motor Racing. I'm going to mark these down. And then we have and then Hot Rod. All right, we still got 3 more to give since Lawrence and Stefan can't take them. All right, here we go. Oh, look, Stefan, you won again. Nope, that doesn't count. Don Lemon, welcome. Congrats, man. Don Lemon. Let me know what country you're in. And then Sean. USA. All right, Don, you got it. It's yours. You hang on to the end, and then I'll be dropping my email so you guys can reach out. And then Sean, are you here? Awesome. Where are you at, Sean? No. Once we hit the daily fair value gap, Hunter. Once we hit the daily fair value gap, which is this big green box, that's the final target of the day. Once we hit that level, I would not trade after this. Because that, to me, is the weekly target. That was the weekly target all week. It knew it all week where it was going to go, and it just did its thing until it decided to be intentional to hit that level. So I have a trade on. I'm not even really paying attention because I'm that confident we're going to hit that level, and I don't care if it retraces down here or stops me out. I'm going to hold it till we hit there. All right, so Sean, you're good to go. And we got one more. Here is the last one. Jason. Jason's the winner. And Jason, I'm pretty sure I know you can take this. All right, so for the winners in the chat here, here's my email. Tyler at thepurposedriventrader.com. Send me an email and I will drop the code for you. And there we have it, everybody. That is the giveaway. If you appreciate that and you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're going to hang out here to see if we hit this daily fair value gap and see if it's going to run that level. We're just going to let this play out, see if we hit that daily fair value gap. Break even or daily. It's one or the other. Break even or daily. That's what I'm going for. What's up, Brian? Yeah, it's been a tough week. It's been a very tough week, but thankfully I respected all of my limits, so I didn't have any major losses. And that one trade, my one trade I took at 852. No, I took it at 854. That reclaimed all my losses. I feel you, my friend. See you, John. I will be right back. I gotta grab some ibuprofen. Yeah, I mean, it honestly, it still could stop us out. This trade right here is actually on my personal account. I don't pay attention to the first one of the week, right? Sometimes I do. If for example, if like this morning we or if it doesn't touch it right away, or it just runs lower and lower and lower, and never comes back and tags it. Oh, I didn't. Does it do that? First presented fair value gap for Thursday. That's the first presented fair value gap, right? If we get a retracement before we hit that level, that's disappointing. That's all right. Oh yeah, it did reach down into that 5-minute. We'll see where this, if this is a new 5-minute candle. Let's see if this 5-minute candle hits it with aggression. 15-minute. Here's the bad news. The bad news is we could drop down into this 15-minute before. That is the bad news. That's a real possibility. Barely. It was barely wicked. I can't go back anymore. Let's go back to the 2-minute. I'm pretty sure this is the November 5th. November 4th. Let's go to the daily. No, it hasn't. That daily fair value gap has not been wicked. And proof is going to show us here in a second. My target's going to be slapped. It's going to be hit, baby. Let's do it. This is my last trade. Once the daily fair value gap hits, once you guys understand, understand weekly targets, this will help you. So when we hit a big level, this daily fair value gap that we're going to hit, when we hit this level, there's no other target. In my opinion, there's no other target. What are you going to do? It's just going to rebalance levels. And so you can't use high draws and big draws on liquidity as effectively. So that's when it's time to say, I'm done. Now, hopefully, it happens right here where we hit the level instead of getting stopped out. We'll see. This technically is the 1030 model right here. I'm not going to take it because I'm already in a trade. There's your entry. There's your stop. There's your first target, which I would say the highs. but I probably would end up holding it to the daily just because I know that the daily's right there. Let's see if it works. See if it plays out. I don't like the ones where it's the 1031 and 1030 also has a fair value gap, because those tend to dip down into the 1030 level. This one is being aggressive here. It looks like it stops it out. I want to see this wick close as a green candle. Oh, dang it. Didn't. So for those wondering, why am I not selling? I'm holding. This trade is not for profit. This is for education. This is for the sole purpose to prove to myself that these targets are worth holding for. Now, if I get stopped out, then I get stopped out. So I'm holding this trade to break even because I want to trade for education. I want to trade for the purpose of identifying that the daily fair value gap is the target, and I want to try to hold through any retracements and not get scared out of a trade like I did earlier right here. I got scared out of a trade, had a stop loss right here, and I closed it early. Now I might get stopped out right here, but that's okay. I don't care. This I will call it a day. Here's our dip down into the 15-minute fair value gap. That's how I'm viewing this. Is the 15-minute has not been tagged yet. And so if we dip down into the 15-minute right here, if we dip down to the 15-minute right here, then we might see that pop back up. And what this, because I'm trading for education and not profit. When I see a candle like this and I've already decided I'm letting it to go to break even, I can't tell you how many times in the past I would have seen this and I've been like, oh, let's just take my profit. Let's just take my profit. It happened once, it happened twice, now it's happening a third time. Now, does it continue or does it go all the way back up? This is what I'm learning. I'm forcing myself to stay in the trade to not feel whether price goes up and down, and just choose to hold it through these moments of uncertainty, because that's what this is. It's going down right now and I want it to go up. All right, so here's the 15-minute tag. Let's see how it plays out from here. Five-minute, okay. 15-minute. Maybe I should move my stop to there so it can have a chance to fill this fair. Nah, I'll leave it. There's a good chance I'm going to get stopped out and price is going to fill this fair value gap. And if it does, I'll get stopped out in that process. But I'm just going to let it play. That's to answer your question there, that one guy. It could fill the whole thing if it wants. Especially as we get closer to the top of the target. If we were down here, right, at the beginning of the move, there's some fair value gaps that never got tagged. This one still filled most of it right there. This one barely tagged it. This one retraced a lot. All right, I'll probably get stopped down here. Let's see what happens. We got a green candle. That's a good sign. Two more minutes before the last 15-minute candle of the hour. That's more than likely meaning I'm going to get stopped out, because that next candle will give us a wick down here and then can give us the expansion higher. All right, stopped out. Mark my words, though. That is going to be hit. But I'm done. I'm not going to mess around anymore. I am going to call it a day. That was a good day. We're going to call it a day too, guys. If you're interested in joining the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, you can find the links down in the description. Would love for you to be there. It includes the Discord, private live streams, and private backtesting we do every week. And as I'm saying that, I'm realizing we did not do one on Thursday, so we need to make that up. With that being said, you guys have a blessed week. Thanks for hanging out with me. God bless you guys. For the winners, send me an email and I will get it to you this weekend. I'm not going to send you the code until after the market closes, so you guys don't feel the urge to trade it. Okay? So God bless. Stay safe. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.